thanks for visiting my channel today. Today's video is actually going to be a follow-up video to the previous video I posted, oven roasted marinara. In today's video I'm going to show you how to can that up, and we're going to use the water bath canning method. The recipe I used is from the Ball Canning book, and that's very important when you are canning that you use a recipe that's been tested. So I did get the recipe from the Ball Canning book. If you're interested in the recipe, which is very delicious, you use fresh tomatoes. I used tomatoes from my garden that were picked that morning. We cooked up the marinara, and then I'm getting ready to process it, so we did it all in one day. You can't get any fresher than that. So so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna water bath can oven roasted marinara. So with water bath canning, I've got my water bath canner going. I have the water bath canners, if you're unfamiliar with water bath canning, have a basket insert in them. You must use that. So I have that in. My water is simmering at about 180 degrees. My sauce is hot. We just finished cooking it, so it's nice and hot. I have my jars nice and clean, and they're sitting in steaming hot water. I have all of my tools here, and I also have a small, about a quarter cup of vinegar, white vinegar. I use that to wipe the rims of my jars, and then I pour the vinegar in my water bath canner, and I do that because it helps keep your jars nice and clear. Most of us have some hard water to some degree, and mineral deposits will collect on your jars when you can them, and they don't look so pretty. So if you put in a little bit of white vinegar at the beginning of the canning process, it keeps your jars from doing that, and they stay nice and clean and clear and makes your food look much more appealing. So let's get started. So we're gonna get a nice clean jar. Actually, I do two at a time. There, I'm going to use my funnel, and I'm going to fill my jars to 1/2 inch headspace. Headspace refers to how much space you have between the product in your jar and the top of the jar. So we're going to do 1/2 inch. And yes, I am messy when I do this, unfortunately. And the oven roasted marinara that I made, that recipe will make approximately 4 quarts of sauce. So we'll see how close we get to the 4 quarts. There's one. 1/2 inch headspace. Do our other one. I do see, I forgot to take out the bay leaf. Make sure you don't can that. Probably wouldn't hurt anything. I don't know. They always say to take it out, and I forgot. We'll just make sure not to can it. Alright. Fill your jars to about 1/2 inch headspace. We're going to take a clean paper towel, dip it in the vinegar water, wipe off the rim of the jars. And then we're going to get a lid. I let my lids sit in hot water. The new canning guidelines say you don't have to do that. They just need to be nice and clean, but I do. So you want to put your lids on the top of your jar, and then you want to use a band, and you're just going to screw the band on to fingertip tight. Both of your jars, and they are hot, so be careful when you're doing that. And then we're going to use our jar lifter. Make sure you lift them by the neck and not by the lid, and we're going to put those in our canner. Okay, 2 more jars. I forgot to take out, so we're going to get rid of him so he doesn't accidentally get canned. Again, 1/2 inch headspace. Now, I did forget, it's all liquid, so there's not really a lot of bubbles in there, but you should use your debubbler and just go around it, make sure that you don't have any air bubbles in there. And then this last one, I think it's going to be easier to just pour it. We're going to get our 4 quarts perfectly, actually. Have a 1/2 inch headspace, clean paper towel, wipe the rims of your jars, make sure there's nothing to interfere with your seal. Debubble this guy. Wipe that rim again. Okay. Your lids. Canning's not hard, it's just a process and procedure. You need to make sure you follow all of the canning guidelines correctly, and you'll have canning success, and it's so fun. It's always a good day. I'm always a happy girl when I get to can. I think it's wonderful to be able to make your own food and preserve it for a later date. I've got too much water. You want, when you water bath can, trouble with him. When you water bath can, you want to make sure you haven't, that your water covers your jars by 1 inch, but I overestimated and I've got too much water in here, so we're going to take some of it out, because you want to have room for your water to boil. I really overestimated. Well, the last time I canned up a recipe of spaghetti sauce, I only got 3 quarts, so the extra quart is taking up the extra room that I estimated for. Okay, almost there. Okay, you have the right amount of water. Take your vinegar and put that in your canner. Put the lid on. We're going to bring it up to a full boil, and we're going to let our jars boil and process for 40 minutes, and then I will bring you back and show you how it looks when it's finished. Okay guys, I just wanted to take a second and bring you in close so that we can I can be clear on correct canning procedures. You can't start your timing process until your canner comes up to a full boil. So it's kind of hard to see through the lid, but see how we have a full rolling boil. That's the point at which you can start your timing. So we want this to go like this for 40 minutes, and then we'll be done. So what I usually do is once it comes up to a full boil like this, I leave it on high till it gets up like that to the boiling point, and then I turn it down just low enough for it to maintain a full boil but not be going crazy. So usually I go from high to about a medium temperature for my stove. So you'll just have to adjust accordingly, but you want to maintain that full rolling boil the whole 40 minutes of processing time. So I hope that helps and makes things clear for you. And hang in there, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to turn the heat off and take the lid off. Okay guys, we are back. We processed our jars in the water bath canner for 40 minutes at a full rolling boil, and then I turned the heat off, took the lid off, and I've let them sit for 5 minutes. So now we're gonna take them out of the canner, and again, make sure you grab them by the neck of the jar, not the lid. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful homemade. Bring it up so you can see it. Look at that beautiful marinara sauce. Isn't it beautiful? Hear the pinging? That means that our jars are sealing, and that is music to our ears. We love that. Now you need to let your jars sit for at least 12 hours. I let them sit overnight, and then tomorrow morning I will wash them off, remove the bands, and label my jars. Here is a jar that I did yesterday, exactly the same way. It's the same recipe, the roasted marinara, oven roasted marinara. Isn't it beautiful? You can see I labeled, upside down, labeled the lid and dated it, and then it'll go on my shelf in my pantry downstairs to enjoy at a later date. All those wonderful garden fresh tomatoes make delicious marinara. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you're trying your hand at gardening. Gardening is so much fun. Canning is fun. It's a really rewarding thing to do, to make your own food and put it up on your shelf, and know that you're providing good, wholesome nutrition for your family, and it's something that you grew yourself and made yourself and preserved for a later date. If you don't have the means to garden, or you don't want to don't have the time to do the gardening, check out your local produce stands, farmers markets, and get nice, fresh, organic produce, and try making up some of your own marinara. If you have any questions about this recipe or about canning, again, we made the marinara in a different video, and you can refer to that video to get the recipe for it. It's called Oven Roasted Marinara, and if you have any questions regarding that or about canning, please leave them in the comment section, and I'll be sure to get back to you and answer any questions that you have. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and come along with me for some more canning or fun recipes, and I have some other fun things planned. So I hope you're having a great summer, and that things are going well for you. As always, thanks for watching and spending time with me today. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.